Okay, welcome everybody. First, I would like to apologize to our audience that I forgot to announce the time of the second tribal. But in the times in between, I went to therapy, and so I have a clear head now, so don't worry about it, guys. The show is not sponsored, but it is my show, so I'm going to plug therapy. Everyone should go to therapy. It's great. So now we're going to begin our tribal. Huh?
We're all going to need therapy.
Yeah. Yes. The show does not have health insurance, so I hope you all have your own health
insurance. That is part of winning. You don't get 6 months free therapy.
No, I really wish I could do that. Also, I want to remind the audience again to A, please be muted, and B, in the Zoom chat, feel free to talk with each other, but don't mention any gameplay or anything you think will happen because the contestants can see that and we don't want to tip anything off. So now to tribal, you guys have all been here before. You know how it goes. I will ask some questions. We will talk for a bit, and then it will be time to vote. So Adam, I'm going to begin with you. We announced the swap, and you are the lone Coratonga member joining the Covyasa tribe. How did you feel?
It all happened so fast that it didn't register in the moment how bad, quote unquote, I should say, just on paper, like how bad it was number wise. It was so bad that it wasn't even a scenario that had crossed my mind. I had figured that we were going to be swapped and split up, and that it would be 5, 5, and 5. So I thought of all of that, and I thought about, well, if I was with this person or that person, and if we were in the minority or da-da-da. I hadn't even thought if I was completely on my own, period. So
Sure.
It was a lot to process after that first challenge, but at the same time, we won, so it was a real mixed bag of.
Yeah, and in that challenge that you guys won, you were the final puzzle person, which can be seen as key. So did you feel then joining this tribe like I'm in a bad position because I'm one of the only non-original tribe members, or did you feel like, you know what, last tribal I saw there were some fractures, and honestly I could be a swing vote, so I'm not in the worst position I could be?
The second part you said, or the last part you said, registered after the challenge of those possibilities. The initial one was, or my initial feeling was none of the parts of the challenge really were like my time to shine. So I was really panicky of like, what can I do? And obviously, just as with every challenge, we're all slacking and figuring out who feels good with what. And I feel like I was in probably the best position that I could be in, but I would be a moron not to acknowledge that Dylan completely pulled me through that one. But at the same time, it was being calm enough to be able to do it.
Absolutely, and still being able to listen to the instructions while not like fucking it up.
Right.
Yes. So off of that, Maddie, how did you feel? Because again, as I said, there's 4 original Covyasa members, which is great. You have 4 strong. However, the last tribal that you guys were at, yeah, Dad, I can curse. It's fine. The last tribal you were at, there was clearly Covyasa fracturing. It was a very dramatic tribal. So were you excited to be on a new tribe, or were you, like, what were you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we found out we were going to split, I was like, oh God, mixed emotions, worries that things could go wrong or whatever. But I was also somewhat excited at the prospect of getting a new crew together because of that. So yeah, there was definitely some like hopefulness mixed in with anxiousness and worry. And I'm happy with the group that I ended up with, for sure. So.
And Dylan, how did you feel? Because at that council, your name was thrown out very hard, but there were no votes that had your name on it. So were you like, shoot, new people or opposing tribe members are going to think that I'm a part of this like big game plan to get my name out there, and then no one voted for me? Or were you just excited for a new chapter? Like, what were you feeling?
Honestly, I take it day by day, right? I think you have to have a short-term memory in this game, essentially. So like, okay, that happened. What does the next day bring? Okay, assess. Okay, what does the next day bring? And
sure.
Honestly, so each day is a different evaluation. And if you play out the scenarios in your head, you'll go crazy. So I was just like, okay, that tribe will happen, new day, let's see what comes my way. And then tribe swap, okay, who am I with? Okay, you know, and so it just kind of keeps going.
Sure. So Ezra, I want to ask you, you know, in the last tribal that we just had with the Koratonga tribe, we saw both an advantage and an idle played. Did that make you feel more nervous or more secure? Because you're like, okay, great, that's two things out of the game that can't be used against me, that can't be played. I know where they are. Or were you like, I didn't know those people had them and I was on the same tribe as them. So who else has stuff that I don't know about?
I'm concerned about the aspect of hidden immunities, idols, that Brittany had one and played one, and I think it worked. It was just a great tribal and really compelling programming to watch in general. That whole tribal council was excellent, but it had me concerned about what was happening on the other beach. Are there other hidden immunity idols that were there? I'm sure that there were. And Adam is a very wonderful person, smart player, has played the game before. He may have already jumped into figuring out the riddles and the clues to know how to search for an immunity idol. And it didn't really occur to me until earlier today that, you know, Adam might have an immunity idol and he might choose to play an immunity idol tonight against us. And who knows? I mean, that would be, you know, perhaps a blindside in the making. And I think it would make for another very compelling tribal council and for amazing programming.
Thank you, Ezra. You're such a supporter. We appreciate it. The team appreciates it. Laura, so off of that, you know, and I asked it in the last tribal, are you coming to this council with plan A, plan B, plan C? You know, Myers talked about having all those different plans for that first Covyasa tribal council. Are you of the same mind for that?
No, I've got plan A. I feel good about it. I want the strongest tribe possible. I don't want to come back here. Anyone who watched yesterday saw 3 teams that have straight beast mode players on them, and we need to be able to keep up with that. Like, if I can't get rid of strong players right now, it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I'm voting strictly for losing who I think is the best for our team, just in strength and winning the next challenge. That's it. I like everyone. Everyone's super nice, but like, we got to stay out of here.
Sure. So Dylan, off of that, you know, you definitely demonstrated yesterday that you were a physical threat. Did that make you feel like, oh, cool, my tribe appreciates that I bring that to the table, I can help them continue to win challenges? Or did you feel like, that puts a little bit more of a target on my back because we are getting closer to the merge, and that is something that some people think about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just like, what can I do to win this challenge to stay out of the tribal, right? Like, it's in my nature to, you know, give it my all for my team. And so I'm going to try that. And if we don't win, we don't win. You know, I can't think 6 challenges ahead. You know, are people going to remember how many burpees I did? Oh, I'm a physical threat. It's more just like, hey, we have this challenge. I want to do the best of my ability. I don't want to go to tribal. So I'm just going to try to go as hard as I can. And I think, you know, what we saw in yesterday's challenge was there are a lot of people who bring a physical aspect to the game. And so I don't feel like, you know, I'm alone in that regard.
Sure. Maddie, as we are getting closer to this merge though, are you thinking about it? I mean, certainly Dylan demonstrated that. I would also say Laura demonstrated that going twice. Is that something that you're considering, or are you just tribal by tribal, tribal by tribal?
I try and go tribal by tribal, but of course, and you know, especially because I sat out, I want to still be able to prove that I can be a strong member of the team physically, and you know, I want to be able to prove my worth. So of course I worry about it. Right after we stopped the challenge yesterday, I was like, I got to try and do a handstand. I want to see if I can do anything that they just did. And I was so impressed with everyone's physical ability. I told my tribe today that I tried to see how many burpees I could do in a few minutes span. And I surprised myself with how many I could do. So maybe It's more just like, maybe it's a confidence thing that I'm not sure, whether I have the ability or not. And I'm quick to be like, listen, I'll step out.
So you decided to be the one to sit out. You volunteered.
Yes, I volunteered to step out.
Okay.
Probst, if I can just jump in real quick here for a second. I do want to point out that although most of us view this game of Survivor as the person who sits out as probably being like either a target to go home or a weaker player, I would like to point out to everybody watching that Maddie was very integral to our team and our performance. She was incredibly supportive to us, and she always had our back, and she made us feel great about not winning first place, but coming in the position that we did. So no one out there should think that if you're sitting on the couch and watching everyone else do burpees and hold cans up for 5 minutes straight, that they're any less involved in our challenges. Maddie was an all-star player.
So Laura, I do want to ask, we had the tribal before. Did that help you? So it sounds like, since you said you had a plan A, that it didn't change your plan, but did you factor that in at all after watching that tribal? No.
Well, I saw someone on the chat ask if we were sore today. The answer is absolutely. I think everyone on our team is sore. I don't know if that's giving too much away, but yeah, I've had to take an ice bath. It's been rough. No, that did not change my vote whatsoever. I am voting on who keeps our team the strongest.
Sure. So Adam, you being the one lone original Coratonga member, if you're able to successfully flip anyone on the Covyasa tribe, do you feel that then you can trust them because they're willing to flip on people? Or do you not trust, or wait, did I say it right? You can't, do you trust them or you not trust them?
Sure.
They're helping further your game, but they were willing to flip on previous tribe members. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think ultimately what it would show. Well, I guess what I'm kind of picking up just in this tribal alone is that the last original Covyasa tribal, as we talked about, was a lot of cracks were shown. And I think even in the way people have been talking about the way they've approached this vote, there are still some kind of fractures there, because Laura is still thinking of keeping the tribe strong now, but the whole conversation that you're driving, Probst, is about merge time and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just interesting. It's interesting. And then to come to your question then, I don't necessarily know if it's like getting people to flip, because who knows if any of these people are necessarily aligned. I mean, I can speak from my own experience of when I started the game, you have alliances and then you have voting blocks.
Yes.
And you have to just kind of work within those and then deal, with the hand that you're dealt. And that's what these twists are all about. And so I don't know, if I make it through, I don't think it's necessarily like, great, I'm set for the rest of the game.
Sure.
But I think then, we reshuffle again, and I guess that merge is coming since you won't shut up about it.
Well, off of that, something that I want to talk about with you, Ezra, is, and I know that everyone who's playing the game is well aware of this, but Ezra is one of the most overwhelmingly positive players that we have in this game, and begins each day with kind of reminding us and grounding us about all the wonderful things in the world. So Ezra, I want to ask you, you're decently way into this game of Survivor. Are you choosing, is it difficult for you to keep that moral integrity while also knowing you're going to have to vote people off? People that you like, people that you've complimented?
First of all, I'm throwing out my tie-dye in honor of Rupert, probably the most positive player in Survivor. Because I think you can play this game, and I think that you can be kind and honest with people. And I feel like, that it doesn't have to be so conniving, and you don't have to live with the sickness in your stomach because you're going to turn on people that you're promising that you're not going to turn on them.
Sure.
I don't have a problem with maintaining my level of positivity, because I'll tell you, our tribe, all of us at the beach of Covyasa, everybody is responding and expressing their positivity in return. And if they're not in a place where they can, then they express their appreciation for hearing it from me. And I'll tell you, to be honest, it feels like at times, and I'll say it even in my little messages, like, I know you might not want to hear it. Maybe some people like, shut up, Pollyanna. I don't want to hear how beautiful the sun is today, or how we weathered the storm, or whatever bullshit I'm gonna, say that might land, on ears that don't appreciate it. But I have to be me. I really love playing this game, Kelsey. I really love engaging with everybody every morning and finding out how they're going to do. And then when we face a challenge, we handle it as best we can. And when we come to a tribal, it's either going to be lots of surprises and we have to say goodbye to a friend. And I just look forward to getting to know them even more in real life and out of the game.
So everyone, Ezra will be providing the free therapy that I mentioned beforehand. I will give you his contact info. He will send you your daily affirmations. Thanks, Ezra. But Dylan, I do want to ask, because Ezra was part of the original Covyasa, and Ezra is playing authentically himself. He is presenting himself. There's no like game player Ezra. Does that make you nervous at all though? Because you're like, wow, if he wants to play this honest, integrity-filled game, then what if I tell him that we should do this thing, or we should vote out this person he really likes? Is that going to work out or not? Like, how do you balance it with knowing who people are in this game?
Well, I think Ezra's maybe more than anyone shown us who he really is, which is, I just think, an impressive thing to do in this game, because I think every one of us is probably holding something back, and I just don't think Ezra holds anything back. And so, I mean, there's nothing I can do to change who he is, and so I can only just, put myself forward and say what I'm thinking, and Ezra's gonna go Ezra's way, and but like, I have so much respect for him, and just, I don't know, the game. He's not, or the willingness to just be 100% himself, right? And so I think that's awesome.
Laura, I do want to check, are you okay?
I'm gonna throw up after Laura.
Anyone there?
Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you say, Kelsey?
I just want to make sure you're okay and not being attacked by a cat.
No, my cat is wonderful and a pacifist and sleeps literally all day until we have a challenge or until I get on Zoom. And then she just wants to be involved.
She wants to vote. I get it.
She wants to vote. She's got a lot of strong opinions. So I'm starting not to trust her. I don't know who she's talking to on the island.
She has an idol.
Yeah, no, I'm literally like just playing a game of not crushing my cat in the challenges. So that's all.
So with this, guys, it is now time to vote. When I say your name, you'll Slack me directly who you would like to vote for. Ezra, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Maddie, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Adam, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Dylan, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Laura, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for, if you can.
Yes.
She's not coming back.
He's coming back.
The cat won.
Okay. Well, I have to wait for her to come back. Laura. She's back. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time. Okay? Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Can you please all pull up, Laura, hold up a lamp or something.
I got it. I'm on it.
Okay, I will read the votes. First vote, Adam. Second vote, Adam. That's 2 votes, Adam. Third vote, Laura. That's 2 votes, Adam, 1 vote, Laura. I can't do quick math, but the next person voted out is Adam. Adam, do you have anything? The tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, I guess I was just on the wrong side of the numbers. It happened.
Adam, you know that I love you deeply, and I thank you for being a part of this game, and I thank you for your constructive criticism. You always better. I'm always open to it. Everybody else, grab your stuff, head back to camp. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Adam.
Bye.